to my channel. I'm Mariah with Wealthy Boss, and I am here with you today to bring you a Vinyasa yoga for weight loss class. Now keep in mind, today's practice is going to be pretty challenging, but I just want you to do your best. Regardless of whether or not you can do everything perfectly in the first time you do it, that is so not the point. The point is that you're challenging both your body and your mind, and you're adopting this mentality that you are a fit person. You have what it takes to take care of your body, both inside and out. So that's the attitude I want you to embrace today as we bring some of these powerful, strong, challenging poses to you that are, yes, going to work your body and burn calories and sculpt your muscles, but more importantly, they're going to help you to find that inner strength that's necessary for really being able to invest in yourself and make sure that you're finding the best version of yourself, because I know it's in there and we're going to help find it together day by day. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Let's begin in a standing mountain pose. Feet are hip-width distance apart, and we begin by actively pressing all four corners of the feet into that mat. So you feel like we're pressing the earth away, gripping the mat with the muscles in the feet as we begin to find length working its way up through the entire body. Lifting through the crown of the head, feeling those shoulders sink down along the back as we start to deepen into our inhales and deepen into our exhales. Perhaps finding our Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose, allowing the breath to swirl about at the back of the throat. This is going to help warm and purify the air, making it more optimal for our body's movements today. Now, on your next inhale, let's shine that heart forward as you take arms back, finding a slight arch in the back. And then exhale, round forward. Inhales, open us. Exhales, round us forward. Continuing that Ujjayi breath, changing direction of the body as you change direction of the breath. Good. Now coming up to stand upright, let's grab hold of the right wrist into the left hand, reaching over towards the left. Really ground down through that right foot to create more length all the way along the side of the body. Draw the shoulder away from the ear. You're lifting up and then over, and then gently return to standing as we take it over to the other side. Good. So again, grounding down to that opposite foot. And then exhale to standing. So from here, we're gonna inhale, sweeping arms up overhead for our salutations. We'll take this first one nice and slow so we can make sure that we have good form for the rest of the ones to follow. Now exhale, we're gonna shine forward with that chest. So we're really leading forward with the chest into a forward fold. Now in this forward fold, we can bend the knees as much as we like if we're feeling tight in the hamstrings or the low back. And any time that we take this forward fold, you're welcome to bend into the knees as much as you need to. Letting that head grow heavy so we're not lifting up through the neck. The neck is really relaxed. Feeling the weight of gravity pull the head closer to the earth. And then on an inhale, we're going to take the back forward. So we reach the crown of the head forward as we find a nice flat back. Hands come to the shins, creating space between each vertebra. So we're not rounding forward. We want to make sure that every section of our spine is parallel to that ground. So this is an important transition that I want to make sure that we get right the first time. And then exhale, we find that forward fold again. Good. Now from here, I'm going to have you step back into a plank pose. So stepping first back with your right foot and then your left. We're going to firm up the belly, holding in our plank. And then exhale, we're going to send the elbows behind us, keeping belly lifted as we lower down slowly. This is called Vinyasa. So ideally, hips and ribs are hitting at the same time. If that's not happening for you, then I invite you to take your knees down first for every Vinyasa that we take. Good. From here, we're going to extend the arms long, or you can keep a little bend in the elbows if your back is feeling very tight. We're on the tops of our feet, rolling those shoulders back, shining the heart forward. So you do want to ensure here that you're not letting yourself sink into those shoulders. Don't let those shoulders creep up away from the ears. Actively imagine yourself pressing the earth away from you, and that's where you're going to find that beautiful back bend. Nice. Now exhale, let's find a nice downward dog. So we tuck those toes underneath us, sending the hips towards the sky. Again, sending shoulder blades down the back so the shoulders are not anywhere near those ears. Nice. Couple deep breaths here just to prepare, just as we're learning how these sun salutations work, and then we'll speed it up. Good. From here, let's inhale as we bend to the knees, looking between the hands. And then exhale, step one foot and then the other between those hands. Inhale, we'll find that nice flat back position again. Spine comes parallel, hands to shins. And exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, firming up in the feet. You're going to find strength in the legs as you come all the way up, sweeping arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. We call this Samastitihi. Okay, so that was our first sun salutation. From here, we're gonna pick up the pace, remembering all those little cues that we found to find our nice, perfect alignment as we start to invite more oxygen, faster heart rate, and ultimately find our heat. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Inhale, sweeping arms up overhead. Exhale, we swan dive forward, reaching for the ground. Inhale, hands come to the shins as we find a nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold and step or jump the feet back into your plank pose, continuing to lower down on that same exhale for your vinyasa. Good. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. And then exhale, tuck those toes underneath as you send the hips high for a downward facing dog. Good, nice. Inhale as you bend the knees, look between the hands, and then step or float the feet between the hands. Good. Inhale, find that nice flat back position, hands come to shins. Exhale, take your forward fold. Remember, knees can be bent if you need. Inhale, press the feet firmly into the earth as you find your way all the way to standing, sweeping arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, great. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, circling arms up overhead, nice and tall. Exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, hands come to shins, nice flat back position. Exhale, reaching it forward, step or jump both feet back to your plank position and continue with your vinyasa. Elbows come straight behind you as you lower to the ground. Inhale, find your back bend, so upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck those toes underneath as we find your downward facing dog. Inhale, looking between those hands, and then stepping or jumping those feet between the hands on the end. Yes. Inhale, find your flat back position. Exhale, melt it all the way down to the ground. And then inhale, strong legs as you rise up to standing, circling arms up overhead, relaxing shoulders away from the ears, and hands come to that prayer position, Samastitihi. Good. We're going to do 1 more sun salutation before we add on, sweeping arms up overhead on the inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, hands find the shins, crown of the head comes forward. Exhale, forward fold, find your plank position, and then vinyasa, send those elbows behind you, belly to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Really draw those shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale as you look between the hands. Now step or maybe try jumping by drawing the abdominals in, feet between the hands. Inhale, nice flat back position. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, cruise all the way up, reaching fingertips for the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. So now we're going to start with those same sun salutations and just add on with our warrior series. We're going to be moving from warrior 1 to warrior 2, extended side angle, and reverse warrior. Now these are going to move fairly rapidly, so we want to take this one breath per movement. If at any point you need a breather, just find child's pose and then return and join us whenever you're ready. All right, let's get going. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, forward fold, finding your plank position and then lowering all the way down to the ground for your vinyasa. Inhale, pressing up into your upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck those toes. This time on the next inhale, you're going to raise the right leg up to the sky, hips stay squared. Exhale, you're going to step that foot all the way through between the hands and then come all the way up into your warrior 1. Nice. In. And then exhale, open the belly up for your warrior 2. Make sure that knee is not caving inward. Elbow comes to the thigh as you reach fingertips up towards the sky. Nice. Pressing away. Good. Pressing up now into your warrior 2 just to transition. And now we take our reverse warrior, finding heart towards the sky. And then exhale, we're going to windmill those arms down, finding our plank position. And then lower them all the way down for our vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog, roll those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck toes, find your downward facing dog, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. Here we go. Inhale, left leg comes up, the hips are squared. Exhale, step that foot through, lining up, pivoting those back toes, pressing up strong in the inhale for warrior 1. Exhale, open the belly up to send arms to the front and back. Nice. Inhale, find your extended side angles, angle, elbow to thigh. And then press up strong for your warrior 2. Float that palm up to the sky for our reverse warrior. And then exhale, find your plank pose again. Nice big sweeping movement. Step that foot back, lower down into your vinyasa. Inhale, find that back bend, maybe finding a little bit more length this time. Maybe thighs hover above the ground, and then exhale, tuck those toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, look between those hands, and we're going to step or jump the feet between those hands. Nice. Inhale, we'll find that flat back position by taking hands to shins. Exhale, melt it forward for that forward fold. And then we're getting ready to rise on up as we press those feet into the earth on the inhale. And then exhale, find the hands over the heart center. Great. We're going to repeat this whole series 2 more times. You're doing so well. Channeling that inner strength again, recognizing how strong you are. And anytime you need a breather, just find child's pose and join us whenever you're ready. Inhale, sweeping arms up, overhead. Exhale, dive forward, nice and fluid. Inhale, hands come to shins. Reach the crown of the head towards me. Exhale, forward fold as you step back into the plank and then lower down, vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe thighs hover above the earth this time. Exhale, tucking toes underneath, finding hips towards the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes high, hips are squared. Exhale, step that foot all the way through between the hands. It can take a couple steps to get there, that's totally fine. Inhale for a warrior 1, hips face forward. Exhale, opening those hips up, warrior 2. Really finding strong arms here, good. And then inhale, extended side angle. Really lift the rib cage off the thigh. Exhale, find your warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior as you float that palm up. And then exhale, let's windmill those arms down as we step back to our plank, lowering down Vinyasa, getting ready to prepare for the other side. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time it's the left leg that rises. Keep those hips squared in the inhale. Exhale, strong belly pulls that leg all the way through between the hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two, shooting energy between those fingertips. Inhale, your extended side angle. Good. Finding your warrior two and then flipping that palm up to the sky. Nice reverse warrior. And then exhale, sweeping arms towards either side of the foot as we step back into our plank, lowering down, tummy hovers in. Good. Inhale, find your back bend, really lengthening in the spine. Exhale, tuck those toes as we smooth those hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Taking an inhale as we look between those hands, bending into the knees, and then exhale, maybe try jumping the feet between the hands, landing lightly. That comes through the strength of your abdominals. Good job. And then nice inhale, flat back position. Now we get to exhale for that forward fold. Yum. And then press those feet into the earth as we cruise on up with that inhale, finding our way into standing, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Good job. We've got one more of these to go. Inhale, sweeping arms up overhead. Exhale, shine that heart forward as we find the earth. Inhale, hands to shins, growing a little bit longer in the spine every time. And then exhale, hands find the floor as you step or jump the feet back to plank and lower down, really hugging those elbows next to the ribs. Inhale, pressing chest up and back. Exhale, find your downward facing dog, melting that heart a little closer towards the ground. Inhale, right leg comes high, keep those hips squared, and then exhale, strong movement to take that foot between the hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open those hips up, turn the belly towards the side, warrior two. Inhale, elbow to thigh for extended side angle, really pressing the ribs away from that thigh. Good. Come up for that warrior two, just a transition, then flip the palm, find your reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, windmilling arms down, rotating that torso towards the ground, and then go ahead and vinyasa. Good. Tops the feet on the mat as we find our upward facing dog in the inhale. Exhale, hips come high, downward facing dog. You got this. Left leg floats high on the inhale. Exhale, really steady movement to take that foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up to warrior one, pivoting those back toes. Exhale, open up for that warrior two. Inhale, find your extended side angle. Really reach those top fingers up. Good. Exhale, up to your warrior two. Float that palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Really shining that heart up and then back. Exhale, returning all the way to your plank posture. Lowering down on that same powerful exhale. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a reprieve in our child's pose. So sending hips towards the heels, opening those knees up to really allow that chest to come all the way down onto the ground. Great work. Inhale through the nose and then exhale, just side out through the mouth. Allow any tension that might have accumulated, any fire, heat that has been trapped in the body to escape through the mouth. Good. All right, finding a little bit more work on your next inhale. Let's send the hips high for your downward facing dog. And then you're gonna look between the hands. Good, and go ahead and just step it through. Finding a nice forward fold. And then inhale, let's take the legs all the way together as we sweep up into our chair pose. So we're bending the knees, sending the hips back. So we're holding the posture, but we're not holding our breath. We're finding, again, that nice deep Ujjayi breath. Breathing in through the nose, perhaps letting that wind swirl about the back of your throat. Exhaling through the nose. Good. Belly is engaged here, so you're pulling the belly in just a little bit, just to protect your back from arching. Good. And then inhale, you're going to lower the hips a little lower as you sweep the arms behind you. Let's rise on up, back to our chair pose on the exhale. Inhale, sweep it down. Exhale, rise. Good. From here, let's take the hands together, taking right elbow across left knee. Good. And then notice if your knees drifted off to one side, send them back towards the center. Pressing that elbow into the thigh. You're going to rotate that heart up to the sky, but don't lose the depth in your hips here. We're really working that posterior chain, finding some nice static isometric toning. Nice deep inhales, nice deep exhales. Let's sweep it back towards the center. You can do it, I know. And then we'll take it right over to the other side. Just give me a few more deep breaths and then we'll take a nice forward fold. Back towards center and let it go. So we're finding a forward fold. Nice deep inhale, exhale, sigh everything out through the mouth. Make sure that neck is just super passive here. So you're allowing gravity to pull the crown of the head closer to the ground, decompressing in the neck, a couple of deep inhales, and then just sigh it out through the mouth. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna rock forward into our crow position, Bakasana. This actually looks a little bit harder than it is, so if you look at it the first time and say, no way, just give it a go. You never know. This is really more about balance than about strength. So we're reaching those arms forward, bending deeply into the knees as you walk your knees up towards the tricep. So it's above the elbow. It's as high above the elbow as you can find. Good. From here, you're going to take the chest down towards the ground to help counterbalance the weight of your hips. Yep. A little bit more than you think. And then maybe start to play with pulling one foot off the ground and then maybe just stay here. Maybe it's a baby crow. But maybe you start to take flight by taking the other foot up. Nice. So having some fun with this. Good. And then let's come all the way down. Let's find a nice little malasana, our garland pose here. So toes are coming a little bit wider than the heels. You want to play with this so that it feels good on the knees and it shouldn't ever hurt the knees. And if this feels uncomfortable, you can always put a block under your seat as well to help take some of the pressure off of the hips and knees. Good. All right. Let's come all the way up to standing now. And we're going to move into a pretty powerful pose. So remember, we're just going to do our best. We're coming towards the latter portion of our practice. We've still got a little bit more work to go. Just joining in as much as you can, and you can always take a rest and join. Whatever you do is amazing. Any effort is always better than no effort. So keep that in mind and just be proud of what you're doing. So from here, we're going to send the right foot back into a warrior 3 position. So we're going to lift up from that lunge as we send fingertips forward, hinging forward from the waist. Maybe torso comes parallel, maybe it doesn't. That standing leg is nice and straight. And then we're going to tilt all the way back, reaching that the right toes towards the ground, and then reach it all the way forward. Good. So we're maintaining that same straight line from the crown of the head all the way through that right heel. And we're just lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. This is a great thing to do to help develop your sense of balance as well. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Now we're going to step it all the way out to the side of our mat for our goddess pose. Good. The toes are a little bit wider than the heels here. Finding nice, powerful stance. Good. Channeling your inner goddess or god. Good. And then let's come all the way up as we take it over to our lunge on the other side. So left heel reaches back, back, back. Send those fingertips forward as we find our warrior three. So left foot floats off the ground. And then we're going to tick-tock everything back. Fingertips reach towards the sky as we reach those toe tips to tap. And then taking it forward into our warrior three. Tilting it back. Let's do this 3 more times. You got it. Let's final 2. If you lose your balance, just come right back into it. Last one. And then stepping it wide out to the side for our goddess pose. Awesome job. Good. From here, let's take the legs nice and wide for our wide leg forward fold. So maybe hands come in line with fingertips. They can come to a block if that ground feels really far away from you. And then let's take right fingertips underneath the nose as you send the left fingertips high. If your hips just shifted over to one side, try sending them back towards the center. Rotating. Good. And then let's just take it over to the other side. Good. Realigning those hips if they've shifted. Beautiful. We're going to toe heel the feet all the way together. Good. And now we're coming all the way down onto our mats for some plank work. Starting with our side plank, so you can either do this on your forearm or on the long arm. Good. You could totally take the knee underneath you if you're working up towards that full side plank. Lifting fingertips up to the sky and then rotating right into our prone plank. So both arms come down to the ground, lifting belly button in and up for 2 more breaths. Now we're going to shift that weight over to take your side plank onto your other side. Good. So remember, the knees can come down at any point if you need. Just maintain a nice straight line from the hips to the shoulders. Good. Coming back towards your regular plank now. You got it. Making sure that you're really breathing here. So we really rely on that Ujjayi breath to help power us through that nice calm breath that helps steady us even through difficult sequences, difficult poses, knowing that we can help maintain that internal gauge of how we feel about something, how we respond to it. Let's take it over to our side plank again. You're doing amazing. And again, you can take a breather in child's pose anytime you need. Promise you won't turn into a pumpkin. Taking it back towards center. Let's find the side plank one more time, facing the opposite direction. Back towards center. Let's find child's pose. Amazing. Good. All right. You've stuck with me this far. You're doing so great. We have one more powerful posture to take, and then we'll be moving into our cool down. So from here, we're going to press up into our dolphin. So our dolphin plank, our elbows are right underneath our shoulders. Spread those fingers wide. Lift that belly button in and up. Good, hips are level. Now from here, you're gonna press up into the right arm and then press up into the left arm. Good, now from here, right forearm comes right back down, left forearm down, and we're just gonna keep going that pace. So right arm comes long, left arm, right forearm, left forearm. Now let's reverse. So left arm, left forearm, right forearm. One more time, long left. One more time, long right. Let's take it down to that forearm. Right arm comes down and child's pose. Woo! That was so good. So just allowing yourself to really release here. Balancing out all that effort with some release, with some restoration, finding our yin and our yang, melting the chest a little bit closer to that ground, reaching fingertips towards the front edge of your mat. Allowing that heart rate to start to equalize. Let's take those fingertips and reach for the right side of the mat. Good, feeling that length all the way from the left hip to the left pinky finger. And back towards the center now as we send fingertips over to the left side. Good, easing into it. Fingertips come back towards the center. Let's lift up into our downward facing dog. We're going to linger here, finding length in the hamstrings, length in the back. Letting the head be relaxed, neck is relaxed, biceps are framing the ears. Good. Maybe sending the right leg high, but this time bending into that knee, taking a peek underneath the opposite arm, opening into those hips. And then we'll straighten that leg, squaring the hips off towards the ground again. Releasing that leg down. Let's take it over to the left side. Good, bending into the knee, maybe taking a peek under that arm. Beautiful back bend, beautiful opening for the psoas. Good, lengthening into that leg. Let's square those hips off to find some length in that right calf muscle. Good. From here, let's move into pigeon pose. So you're going to take your right shin and line it up on the mat. So the more parallel it is to the front edge of the mat, the more intense it is. But you can bring that heel in a little bit closer towards the body if you're feeling a little bit tight. The chances are you might, because we just did a lot of work for the piriformis. Good. Melting down. So really paying attention to what your body needs here. This is a pretty intense pose. That top of that foot comes down onto the ground. So maybe coming onto forearms or melting forward, but only if that feels right for your body. You want to be in a place where you feel freedom and ease, where you don't feel like you have to grip or hold your breath. Allowing those muscles to completely release, both physically and energetically. Good, ever so carefully. Now you're going to press back up into your plank posture. Maybe finding a three-legged downward facing dog, just to find a little bit of movement into, good, those hips. And then let's take it over to the other side. So one side could be a completely different experience than the other, and that's okay. Good. Breath and patience, opening your body up. Finding beautiful length to even out all the contraction that we did. Nice. Gently pressing yourself back up now, carefully sweeping that leg behind you in a three-legged dog. Good. And then from here, let's just walk the feet up to join the hands. And let's take a nice ragdoll here. So bending into the knees if we need, letting the head grow super heavy as we grab hold of opposite elbows, just allowing that torso to dangle forward. And then pressing the feet into the earth, we're going to sweep arms up overhead, coming to stand. Ending the same way we started today in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's take hands to prayer pose. and take a few moments to absorb this beautiful practice. We exhibited a lot of inner strength today, a lot of control, a lot of discipline, but we want to honor that with that sense of self-love, of acceptance, and of release.